Yo, what's up, guys? Okay, in this video, I want to talk about being hard on yourself through spiritual paradigms. Now, this one can be tricky because as you better your life or step into higher states of consciousness or go on a spiritual journey or a self growth journey, personal development, life coach, whatever you want to call it, the ego gets very, very clever. And things that used to limit you as far as egoically now come through the back door. Okay, and they dress themselves up as these spiritually helpful ideas when a lot of the times again these ideas and these paradigms that that are spiritually ego based aren't actually helping us grow, and they're actually fueling a lot of resistance towards the growth that we initially set out on. So let me give some examples. There's a lot of spiritual teachers that talk about actually doing things, right? Working hard and actually putting action behind positive thinking and manifesting and energy work and stuff like that, which is true. But if you grew up with trauma around needing to push and effort and work really hard for things, you're going to take that trauma, that wounding, and recycle it to yourself with a pretty spiritual ego ribbon on it. So you're going to be hard on yourself through the back door. Does that make sense? You're going to be hard on yourself because this spiritual teacher is telling you that you have to work hard and it's not just about manifesting. But at this point in your journey, you need the space and the freedom to do absolutely nothing, or to take 2 hours and meditate a day, or to not push and experience life without having to work hard. That's actually your healing. But again, because you're tuned into these spiritual teachers that are telling you you have to do it, that you think that you have to do it, and you perpetuate the trauma that you were healing. So that's one way. Let me think if there's anything else I want to cover on this topic. Yeah, so a lot of the times as well on this path of healing or spiritual growth, again, whatever you want to call it, there's many labels people place on it. You're going to come across healing your body and many circles and paradigms, spiritual paradigms, health paradigms that tell you what you can't eat and what you should be eating. So a lot of the times you're going to come across teachers who have a lot of followers and a lot of clout, and that makes you vulnerable to them, right? When you're stepping into new paradigms, a lot of us have been stepping out of the Western medicine health paradigms and stepping into a lot of us vegan paradigms or gluten-free paradigms, health conscious paradigms, right? But again, the spiritual ego loves to hide and come in through the back door. When you start following these people, kind of let your critical thinking mind guard down, and fear also sneaks through the back door. So what I mean by this is, and in my experience, I followed a lot of these people that said, if you basically don't have green juices, give up meat, give up dairy, give up gluten for the rest of your life, then you're going to become really sick, you're going to get cancer, your heart's going to explode, like all of these, something bad's going to happen to you, you're going to get tumors, all of these things, right? Your digestion's going to be out of whack, you need to give up caffeine, you need to give up coffee, you need to do all of these things. And if these resonate with you and they feel good, then great. A lot of us are moving towards them anyways. But my point is, a lot of us recycle the hardness, the rigidity, the duality. This is right, this is wrong. Cal is right, meat is wrong, dairy is bad, I can never have dairy again, or I can only have dairy once a year, right? We're recycling this duality, which is not higher dimensions at all. It's just the other side, the flip side of the third dimension, right? Into our new spiritual practice, right? We're recycling that rigidity, that hardness on ourselves. So just pay attention to this, because a lot of us are still going to have meat. A lot of us are still going to have dairy on a consistent basis or not. But can we see how we beat ourselves up because these new spiritual paradigms are telling us to? Oh, you must hate animals if you still consume meat. Oh, you must be unhealthy, or something must be wrong with your digestion, or it's not as good as it can be because you still have dairy. Again, notice what this brings up in you. And notice how it's the flip side of the same coin of fear that many of us have moved out of via the old Western medicine system that's on its way out now. Just notice, and however it's showing up in your life, how spiritual paradigms can be really reinforcing self-hate or self-limitation or restriction, right? I'm trying to think if there's anything else. A lot of things for me, again, around efforting, around needing to push, around taking something that they say kind of out of context, and again, having the ego recycle it, that has me step out of my authenticity. At the end of the day, all of these spiritual teachers, me, you, whoever it is, they help reflect, what's in resonance with you. But at the end of the day, you have to trust yourself over any paradigm, right? It doesn't matter, and we get caught in this trap of needing to agree with everything they say, right? But you can take some things that work for you and resonate with you and get rid of the rest, And if you're denying something, that's a different story. But again, even if they're telling you something that you need to hear, eventually it's gonna feel good to move towards it. You know what I'm saying? Eventually, you'll know what's not in resonance with you, that's not for you, versus something where, this is actually a positive change I get to make in my life. Eventually you'll be able to differentiate between those things. But again, this video I want to focus on, again, the almost like manipulation of, what our ego does to information, because it comes from these people that we put on spiritual pedestals, and again, we use it to actually to invalidate the freedom that we're moving to, right? A lot of the times, I'll go back to the first example. We take on someone's message and distort it so we feel better and we feel safer because we're still following what they have to say, instead of really stepping into our power and being like, wait a minute, I agree with these things, and these things resonate with me in my life at this current time, but this thing doesn't, and that's okay. Can we be okay with that? And maybe in a year it will, or maybe it never will. Maybe that teaching is something that we already handled and is behind us. So let yourself off the hook around spiritual teachings that don't resonate with you. Because a lot of us have been hard on ourselves because of someone's message. And if you actually sat down and had a coffee with them, they'd be able to see, oh no, I didn't mean it like that, or I didn't, for you in your life, I wouldn't have you do that, right? it's really taking back our sovereignty, taking back our critical mind, and noticing when we start labeling things that actually aren't working in our life. Oh, that's okay because it's spiritual. Oh, that's okay because Teal Swan, I love Teal Swan, or or Lori Ladd or Feel Good people I follow, because they said it. But again, you can love them and you can agree with a lot of their teachings, but if one piece or if many pieces doesn't work for you, then that's okay. Then that's okay. And if you feel hardness, if you feel restriction, then you can let it go. It's safe to let it go, and you'll feel the relief. This is something that I'll probably end with this video too. So this can be with spiritual habits too, right? This can be with meditating. This can be with journaling. In my experience, I've been journaling almost every single day since 2017. I've filled like notebook upon notebook of my own writing and stream of consciousness. But this year, especially, it got to a point where I was bypassing feeling emotions through journaling. So you'll realize as you keep going and getting deeper and deeper on the spiritual path, some of the things that helped free you will eventually constrict you, will eventually cause you pain and suffering. So what I do now is I usually write every day, but instead of writing like 3 pages, I used to do Julia Cameron's, what's it called? Morning Pages from the Artist's Way book, which is a fantastic book if you're just kind of waking up on your artist journey. But I used to, do 3 long pages of stream of consciousness every day, and now I do sometimes only 1 sentence because that's all that needs to come through that feels good to write down. This happened with me too with meditation about 2 years ago, where I would force myself to sit and do 20 minutes or 40 minutes of like very rigid like meditation, not moving. And I kept getting headaches when I did that, and I realized that that's not how I need to meditate, and how I realized that the rigidity of doing it that way wasn't for me. Sometimes I'll still do that, but a lot of the times now I'll be moving during meditation. I'll open my eyes during meditation. I won't necessarily do this during meditation. I'll take a walk for meditation. I'll dance for meditation. So my point is with this, things that, and habits and actions that give you pleasure or freedom or healing won't always be in resonance, or they'll get to evolve and change. So again, something like for me, I still like to write, but it's not in the rigid same way as I used to, 5 years ago when I started, when 3 pages of writing every day felt good to me. So I'd like to hear from you guys in the comments, what spiritual paradigms, practices, modalities, whatever, have you been taking on that have actually kind of, again, been recycled through your spiritual ego, and you've been using it to be hard on yourself or to restrict yourself, or that you're seeing, oh wow, that was useful at this point in my life, but now I'm moving into this, and it's no longer useful, or it's no longer useful in the way that I've been doing it. So let me know. Give this video a like if you found it useful. I'll put a link in the video description for my PayPal. I don't expect donations, but I sure as hell enjoy them and honor them. I'd really appreciate that as well. And I think that's it for this video. Yeah, but it's really fascinating because it's like, it's one of those things that you keep doing something and you don't even realize that, you keep saying in your mind, no, well, this is a good thing to do. This is a good thing to do. Like so-and-so told me to do this, or I've been doing this and this helped me heal from this. But, the next path of ascension, awakening, of healing is realizing like, oh my gosh, like we're constantly evolving. And how cool is that, right? The things that knocked your socks off or helped you get through the day a few years ago, I mean, we're moving so fast now, a few months ago, a few days ago, last week, may not work today or next week or next month, or sure as fuck not next year. If you're ascending as fast as I am, which if you're a match to this video, you're on that path. You're on the the fast lane of the highway of human ascension. So thank you guys, and I'll see you very soon in the next video. Take care. Peace.